He begins to explain it in French. Not understanding the meaning, Jessica finds his speech very melodic and sexy. He decides to postpone his confession a bit longer and go gambling with Jess. After a while, he decides to check up on the kids, but his call goes unanswered, so they head back upstairs. At the suite, Jessica is momentarily deceived by dummies set up to look like the kids sleeping, setting Dan's mind at ease. Jessica goes to freshen up, while an ominous silhouette appears in the background. She sets up a romantic atmosphere with music and love mist.
Love mist?
Jess!
Thanks to the mist, Dan notices laser sights and dodges the bullets. He grabs a bottle of Flecha Azul tequila, where Mark Wahlberg is the biggest investor.
Flecha Azul, fool, I told you!
Throws the bottle.
Flecha Azul, fool, I told you!
And shoots it, setting the assailants on fire and neutralizing them. However, Jessica is taken hostage. Dan puts down his gun, but subtly grabs a knife. When the assailant calls Dan by the name Sean, the grim reality hits Jessica. The assailant starts talking about his plans.
And then I'm gonna have my associate, Hyper X, kill your kids.
Dan neutralizes him as well, but the shock causes Jessica to vomit.
Oh, that's normal, honey. Everybody barfs the first time.
She then runs to the kids but finds the dummies. Remembering the assailant's mention of Hyper X, she knows where to find them.
Shut up! I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to look at you. I just want to find my kids. They don't have their goddamn phones because you threw them away!
At the gaming arena, just as Kyle ends his game with 30 kills, Dan and Jessica arrive and pick them up. Dan finally reveals the truth.
Because my former coworkers are trying to kill us.
From Planet Car Deals?
I'm not kidding around. Ask Max. Before I met your mom, I was a covert assassin. I escaped that life, and now they found us.
That you are like the biggest wimp on the planet.
However, the kids don't believe it until they are shot at. Taking cover behind a car, Dan neutralizes the mercenaries. Now it's Kyle's turn to vomit.
Oh, it's okay, honey. Everyone barfs the first time.
In the aftermath, as they take cover, Dan discloses the full extent of his past, including his role as one of McCaffrey's mercenaries responsible for 43 deaths. Kyle calls Dan a hypocrite because he banned him from gaming due to fake violence, yet he's an assassin. They now understand why Dan never wanted to leave the city and is so against social media. He hands them their new identities. Nina is now Molly Anderson.
Molly Anderson?
At least you got a real name. I'm Van. I'm a vehicle.
After 18 years of lies, the family refuses to accept him. Jessica decides to leave him and will take responsibility for the kids.
There's a stranger named Sean. Archibald Anderson.
Oh, damn it, Augie.
She calls Gwen, asking for help, while Dan is left to guard outside until the very morning. Despite Dan trying to explain that it's not safe and McCaffrey will come after them, Jessica just tells him to make it safe and stay away from them. When Jessica arrives, she is amazed to see Gwen waiting for her in a private jet.
What are you doing here? I wasn't expecting all this. I was on a layover nearby and I thought, I'll just come get you myself.
On the jet, Gwen tells Jessica about her ex in Buffalo. They were together for years, and he left her to marry another woman.
You met her? I had to. He created this whole life with this woman. I needed to see what she had that I didn't. What did you do? I did what I do best. I got in close. I won her trust, and then I just waited patiently for her to walk into my trap.
Jessica realizes she's talking about her. She tries to flee, but McCaffrey is already there. McCaffrey gives Dan a call, showing that his family is in captivity. He arranges a meeting in an abandoned hotel. McCaffrey's henchmen are all over the place.
Hello, old friend. You brought you in for this, huh, Spiros?
He brought everybody.
Dan is flattered. Arriving at the penthouse, McCaffrey asks for a sarcastic hug. It turns out he's Dan's father.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm your grandfather, Kyle.
Oh my God, we're British.
McCaffrey wanted Dan dead because he abandoned him, but for the past few days, Dan has wasted every man McCaffrey sent after him, so he felt pride in his son. And now, McCaffrey wants him back. If Dan comes back to work for him, he will let his family go, but on one condition: he'll never see his family again.
But no contact. Can't have you going soft on me again.
And if he refuses, his family dies. With no other option, Dan agrees to do it. McCaffrey orders his henchmen to escort the family to the airport. Suddenly, the kids' morals kick in. They want Jessica to protect Dan. Kyle childishly pushes elevator buttons. While the kids try to persuade their mother that they can't abandon Dan, Jessica starts changing Max's diaper and stuffs it in the bad guy's face, throwing him off to his death. They will go get their dad back. While McCaffrey goes to make some arrangements, Gwen uses her feminine wiles to seduce Dan back into loving her, ignoring the tech guy. She's aware of Dan's tactics. The family is there to rescue him. As he puts Gwen to sleep, the tech guy is taken captive. Dan apologizes for keeping secrets from Jessica and promises to always tell her the truth.
When was I going to tell you? On our first date? Our second? When you were pregnant with Nina, or by our fourth?
What? Do the math, Nina.
He wants to be her husband and a loving father. Meanwhile, McCaffrey notices that something is wrong. By the way, the tech guy is Kyle's fan. Kyle tries out the drone, and it turns out Dan is really good with technology.
You're not anti-technology. You're awesome.
The henchmen are coming. He tells his family to go to the roof, and he will deal with them. Kyle will be his eyes and ears. Kyle uses the drone to spot McCaffrey's men and relays information to Dan, who, despite the numbers, skillfully deals with them. McCaffrey notices that the drone is aiding Dan and wakes Gwen up to find the family. Dan tells his dad to call it off.
Call it off now.
But he doesn't listen, and despite 10 guys shooting with automatic rifles, no one manages to hit Dan. Noticing the elevator going up, Jessica hides the kids and shoots as the elevator arrives, but Gwen just chilled on the left. Gwen taunts Jessica, knowing that she has an advantage in hand-to-hand combat, not taking her seriously.
You think you can beat me because you took some kickboxing classes? You know I do this for a living, right?
With solid cons still, Kyle says there are 9 guys left. Dan knocks them out one by one, making McCaffrey proud. He finally shoots down the drone. Meanwhile, in the prolonged catfight, Gwen comes out victorious, burying Jessica under a pile of rubble. McCaffrey knocks Dan down and has a clear shot at him, but he has to yap about how family has made him weak. Meanwhile, Gwen corners the kids, and that gives Jessica the strength to lift up the debris, but she is still thrown around like a sack of potatoes. Dan manages to remove the bullets from McCaffrey's gun, so they resort to hand-to-hand combat. Being an ex-decathlete, Jessica picks up a bamboo stick and attempts an athletic jump, but fails miserably. Gwen thinks it's funny when Jessica tries again, but this time, Jessica throws it like a spear.
There's 9 other events, bitch.
McCaffrey beats Dan in the fight and grabs a gun to finish him off. But then the family comes in, and Nina tells McCaffrey that she's happy to find her grandpa and suggests they could become a normal family.
When I look at you, I don't just see a cold-blooded killer. I see my grandpa.
If you think this little speech is going to win me over,
Honestly, I was just hoping it would buy him enough time to do this.
This distraction gives Dan a chance to act. The family reunites and the police arrive. 6 months later, Nina becomes a famous journalist by making a report about McCaffrey's assassin group. Dan starts a company teaching security guards and hires Augie. Jessica becomes a coach, and Kyle continues making videos online. The family gets ready for a big trip, packing up an RV to take Nina to Stanford. In line with their new tradition, they give up their phones.